Welcome back, everybody, to the next session of the Scale with AI Summit, kicking off with Gamma and their dream team. Going to come share some of the latest and the greatest ways to use Gamma to create powerful presentations, websites, and social media content. Gamma, of course, is one of our platinum sponsors here at the Scale with AI Summit. And you can learn more when you head on over to gamma.app and sign up for yourself. Get you a sweet deal on your first month. If you use the code AI Summit at checkout at gamma.app, get a full month of Pro for free. And so you can try it out, give it a go. Gamma is super powerful for websites and obviously presentations and so much more. Really looking forward to this summit series with Gamma. We have Deho here. We've got Allison. Great to see you, Allison. Great to see you, Deho.
Me and Deha are really excited to be here. Deha will be handling chat, so please ask any questions that you have and he will answer. And then Darby and Deho, feel free to interrupt me with any pertinent questions that may come up as I go along. But yeah, we're excited to be back. We had a lot of fun last time and ready to show you guys what Gamma can do.
Yeah, I'm excited. So everybody here, make sure you're asking your questions in the comments. And other than that, the stage is yours, Allison. You're ready to take it away.
All right, let's do this. So I want to start off with just a brief introduction to Gamma and what we do. I think Darby's introduction was great, but we've been really refining our sort of messaging and our vision, and we're really excited to share that with you guys. We're best known for our AI presentations, but our mission is really to help people bring their ideas to life. Everyone has like great ideas, but not everyone has the technical or like design knowledge to communicate those in a way that is visually appealing to the masses or your target audience or whoever you may be trying to reach. And so our goal is to help you bridge that gap as painlessly as possible. And so we are really a communication platform more than specifically just like an AI platform or presentation platform. Um, we are building something bigger here. And we really want creation to feel painless, fast, easy. We want you to lean into your imagination and your strengths and let us take care of all the boring, tedious stuff so that you can share what you are making with the world faster. And we've been around since 2020. We first launched our private beta in 2021. We launched our AI features in 2023, and we've just been growing since then. We were really excited and honored to be at the previous Scale with AI Summit, and now we're back. So I'll just walk you through briefly what I'm planning to show you in the next couple of days, because I'll be back with you tomorrow. Um, so today we're just gonna get a little overview of Gamma. I'm gonna start by sharing some examples of real Gammas that community members have made. We'll walk through how to make a presentation in Gamma, including some more advanced methods. And I'll also show you how you can export and share your work. Then we'll go over how to use themes to create like beautiful and branded content that is reusable. I'll teach you how to use AI images, and then I'll show you some tips and tricks that I personally use to make my gammas look great. And at the end, with whatever time we have remaining, you guys can just choose whatever I demo and we'll make it an interactive thing. So tomorrow we're going to go beyond the basics and I'll go more into that then, but here's a little sneak peek. I'm really excited to show you guys social media carousels. That's one of our newer features and they're really cool. I think you guys are going to be really excited. But for today, let me get into some of the examples of real gammas that people have made. The first one being the Scale with AI Summit website. This was so cool to see. This was one of the earliest websites that we really saw live, made with Gamma, and we were just like blown away. We were like, this is like the vision. This is what we're trying to do here. Another one is this ping pong social club website that we found in Portugal. We were like, this is adorable, so cute, so cool. What a fun initiative. The next one is a document made by one of our ambassadors. That's our like power user community. And he made this really cool doc about AI sprints without designers. You can find him on LinkedIn. His name is Ken Pulverman. And you can read this for yourself. Several years ago, I made this presentation to present to the team in a ritual that we have called Gamarama, where everyone makes a presentation on something they're interested in. I just like to show this as a visual example of what Gamma is capable of if you spend a little bit of extra time to refine your visuals, refine your content, and really tell a story here. And then the last really cool thing is this AI voice agent update series that A16 has been doing. They put this out a couple of times using Gamma, and it's just like a really cool newsletter update on where AI voice agents are at. You can also find this by Googling A16 AI voice and read it for yourself. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, let's get into the fun stuff, shall we? So first, I'm going to show you how to use Gamma's standard generate flow. When you sign up, you'll get put straight into it, but if not, you can get into it by hitting this purple create new button on your dashboard, and then you'll just click on generate. And so this is going to be the easiest way to start generating. You'll see that we have a couple of artifacts up top here. The first one is presentation. That's what we're going to be focusing on today. And I'll introduce you to websites and social later. Documents are pretty similar. They're just less visual, but they're pretty similar to the presentation experience overall. So we have a bunch of example prompts here if you just want to see what Gamma can do and you're not really sure what you specifically want to make yet. But I think today we can make a pitch deck for a startup that helps communicate with their owners. And so when you send the prompt through, the first thing Gamma is going to do in this flow is create an outline for you. And this outline is just going to help you double check that you and Gamma are on the same page. You can edit it if you want. So maybe I'm like actually 90% of pet owners wish they could understand their pets better. Then once I'm good with this outline, I can keep going. You can also move these things around. So if you want to put this first, put this later, you could do that too. And you can add a new card, just a conclusion slide. When you are good with your outline, you can move on to the theme picking step. So themes are what control your visuals in Gamma. And I find this step really fun. You can hit shuffle to just see a random selection of the themes available. We preload all of these standard themes into your workspace, so you will have access to everything in this standard tab when you create your account. But you also can create a custom theme, and I'm going to walk you through how to do that later. For now, I think let's go to what's sort of like a fun pet one. Actually, in the spirit of scale with AI, I feel like these colors are nice. So we'll go with this like green and black vibe. So I'm going to choose that theme because it looks good. I can also control the amount of text that's going to be in my presentation. So since it's a pitch deck, I'll make it brief. And I can control sort of the style and subjects of the AI images here. And I can pick my source too. If I just want Gamma to choose it for me, I can do that. Or if I want all AI images, which I do this time, I can do that. I'm going to put happy pet and owners, cute illustration. We have a bunch of AI image models to choose from, and I'll walk through more of this a little bit later, but we have some really cool ones. My favorite is Recraft vector illustrations right now. I think the quality is just like amazing, and I love using these in my work. So now that I'm pretty happy with everything here, I'm just going to hit generate and we'll see a presentation get made in 20 seconds. I love watching these presentations stream. I think it's really fun and cool. You just get to watch the AI write things out. Funnily, we actually have a coworker. She is like an extremely fast and smooth typist. And once I was collaborating with her on something inside of Gamma, and she was typing so smoothly and quickly that I thought it was the AI that it somehow triggered. I was like, how are you doing this? So this is our pitch deck. Now we have a pitch deck for a company that helps people communicate with their pets. Pet speak are really cute illustrations. And we're like good to go here. It even made a chart. So with all the stuff in Gamma, I would say think about it as like a really nice customized template. So this is your first draft. This is your first step. It's not necessarily going to be the final thing that you're going to want to show people, but it's going to take out all of that busy work, all of that sort of like tedious, like pixel futzing that you would normally have to do in a tool like PowerPoint or Google Slides. If you want to switch the placement of this image and put it on the right in Google Slides or PowerPoint, a traditional tool, that's like a lot of work. It's a really painful process. You have to drag all these boxes and then they're not in the right place. But in Gamma, we make it really simple for you to make these changes. It's just as simple as clicking right layout. I can just switch the image from left to right. And if I want it on the top, I can even do that. Or if I want it as a background, I can put it there. A lot of our features are really geared towards this idea of defaults that are overridable. And the overrides make sense and they just look good. There's a couple other things in this card editing menu that are good to be aware of. If you want to make your cards like span the full width of your screen, full bleed, this is the default for presentation. So you'll see that it's a card form here. But then when I go into present mode, it fills the width. Um, that feature is really useful for websites. So we'll get back into it tomorrow. We have some content alignment options here. So not super applicable because this content fills the card. But if you had content that didn't fill the card, you could choose to align it at the top, middle, or bottom. You can alter your card width. So this is something that just lets you tweak the look and feel of your cards based on the content you have. And if you want to add some sort of backdrop to your card, you can do that too. So if you wanted to have a background, I'll get rid of this.
Hey, Allison,
And yeah,
we had a quick question. How do we use our company branded template to create a presentation?
ooh, that's a great question. I'm gonna get to that in just 1 minute. Um, so I I'm just going to briefly show you where AI editing is. So you can edit a card by clicking on these sparkles. We have a bunch of pre-suggested options for you here. And then if you want to edit the whole deck, that is a pro feature, which you guys will have access to with your code. And you'll find that in the sparkles in the top right. And again, we have some pre-suggested stuff up here for you, but you can type in like custom requests as well for the AI. So that's like the basics of getting your gamma going and generating something. So I'll show you a couple more advanced flows now, and that will get into some of the branding and like pre-built material. If you have a PowerPoint or a slide deck that you have already made or that you have from your company, you can import it. So we offer a couple different import options. You can upload a PPT, a Word doc, a PDF. We offer Drive imports. And then a really cool one is that we offer import from URL. So if you just drop a URL in, you can import the content from that. Gamma will suck it all up and then output like a nice looking presentation. Um, the other creation flow that we offer is paste and text. And so this is a really powerful one. I would say that a lot of our power users rely really heavily on this flow because it lets you take the content or the notes that you already have and turn it into a gamma. And it doesn't restrict you to gamma's default like outline flow. For example, if I have a more robust pitch deck for my pet communication startup, I can go copy and paste it. And this is a pretty standard flow that a lot of our power users will use. They'll ask Claude or ChatGPT to help them refine their outline, and then they'll come paste it into Gamma. So I've pasted my outline. This is pretty long, 16 slides. I can choose to make a presentation with it. And I'm going to go for like a traditional 16:9 aspect ratio. So you can also choose your aspect ratio here. One thing to note is that Gamma's cards are a minimum height, not a maximum. So they will expand as you write. And now that I have all my content in here, ask Gamma to split it up card by card. So I can just say yes, split, and it'll put those breaks in the places where it thinks they need to be. So you see that it broke it right before slide 2, which is right. We have a couple of different text options here. So I can ask Gamma to fill in more details and generate. I can ask it to condense. This is really helpful if you have a document of text that you're trying to convert. If I have text that I already like, I can just say preserve it and I can choose the language. So this is agnostic of the original content. If you have something like in Spanish and you want it to be in English or vice versa, then you can just paste it in here and Gamma will know what to do with it. So for now, I'm going to say generate because this is just bullet points. And again, I can choose brief, medium, or detailed text. I can also choose the tone and the audience. And this is really useful. So if you wanted to like talk like a pirate, then you can do that here, which obviously wouldn't make sense for an investor pitch, but it's an option. We have the same sort of AI image stuff here and then some more formatting options. And in the paste and flow and the advanced flow, you can add additional instructions for the AI here. So I don't have any right now, but this is where you would want to add your own like custom prompting. One example of people using this is there are languages with different conjugation forms that you would use depending on the formality of your audience. And we've had feedback from users who, for example, speak Japanese, where the output that Gamma was using was too casual for their audience. So they would put the instructions in here to use a more formal like conjugation. I forget what it's called, but that's where you would put that instructions, and uh, Gamma will use that instead of defaulting to the more like casual language.
And
So
Allison,
from Mhm.
before you continue, one
Oh
person was
yeah.
asking, the Pro plan allows up to 60 cards. What if your slide deck is more than 60 cards?
Yeah, so right now 60 is the limit. I will show you, let me write that down right now. I will show you how to combine decks. So that is the current workaround. It's not the best thing, but we're thinking about how we can help you manage like longer content. Okay, thank you for that reminder to get to that. So right now, if you are a pro user and you have something that is like more than 60, you're just gonna have to like import it twice in those 60 like slide chunks and combine them together. And I will show you how to do that.
And then Allison, also related
Mhm.
to this theme, someone's asking, can you ask it to give a combination of colors specific to your company?
Yes, I can show you how to customize a theme and it will have your company colors. So I'm just gonna go through and generate it with this theme, and then I will show you how to customize a theme and add your own colors. Again, Gamma is just generating based on the outline that I gave. And before I show you the theming, I'll briefly show you how to view your prompt for this outline, just in case you didn't like something or you want to tweak something. You can obviously tweak it in the deck if you have a broader problem, or you just want to see what this came from, then we offer that as well. Okay, so if you wanted to see the source prompt, you'll just click on the three dots in the corner and click on view source prompt. When you click on that, it'll take you back to this page and you'll see the stuff that you generated from. Okay, so it sounds like there's a lot of excitement about like theming, customization, which is great. Our custom themes are really powerful. So the really cool thing about custom themes is that in a traditional side tool, if you wanted to change the visuals, the look and feel, the colors, it is a lot of work and a lot of time. It means that when you start creating, you have to really know how things are going to look. So you don't have to redo all your work. In Gamma, that is actually the opposite. You can totally decide how you want things to look at the end. And that is perfect for me because I never know how I want things to look at the start. So I can just change the entire look and feel of this Gamma by clicking on a new theme. It just transforms content. It doesn't transform the content, it just transforms the visuals and it adapts everything to match the theme that I've chosen. So you can see this chart, the colors are going to change when I change the theme. And now it matches and it's all green. This is just really mind-blowing as someone who's made and hacked around with slides before. But if you want to add your own company colors, there's a few ways you can do this. The first is by just creating a new theme. And another one, which I'll show you before I get to that, is you can customize a custom theme that Gamma offers. So let's say that your theme is really close to this one, which we call consultant. And you just need to like tweak the colors. You can just say customize and then change your colors, change your fonts, and then save it. And that is like a great shortcut to make a custom branded theme for yourself. We also offer an import option. So this gets back to that question about what if you have your own template? You would just import it through here. So again, the way to get to that is by clicking theme in the top and then import, and you can just upload that here. And the last thing you can do is you can go through a theme builder. So we'll go through this together. We have a list of curated palettes and like options for you that hopefully make it really easy for you to just make a theme, but you can also get more granular control and tweak them. So we try to get you as close as possible to like something that you're gonna want, but we let you tweak it. So let's say that our brand colors are like this like green color. Your primary accent color is going to control a lot of things. For example, the button and link colors. It'll control some of these like block colors. I'll get into blocks in a minute. And it'll also be in the palette, like the color palette within Gamma of things that you can, colors that you can select. You can control your heading, your text heading and body color. So if I want it to be red, I could do that. And then by default, Gamma has the option to adjust colors for contrast and accessibility. We recommend keeping this on, but for certain color combinations, we understand that it's not necessarily what you need in the moment. So we do let you turn it off, but by default, it's on and we recommend keeping it. You can change your card background color here too. So if I wanted all my cards to be green, that's an option. And so now I'm just going to continue because I'm good with my colors. We have, similar to the colors, we just have a bunch of font pairings that look nice by default. So we'll go with that. But if you have a custom font, you can definitely upload that. So the way you'll do that is by going to the dashboard or clicking on that upload font. And from here, you can just click on this, upload your font files, and then go back to the theme builder to finish customizing your theme. Your uploaded fonts will show up here, but Gamma also offers like a suite of built-in nice looking fonts down below. These are all Google fonts, so when you export, you shouldn't have a problem using them in your slides or your PDFs. I'm gonna make it friendly as possible to do that. We have a couple of advanced text controls, but you don't need to worry about those by default unless you want to. And then the really fun part for me, at least, is the design part of the theme building. We have a lot of different styles for you to choose from. So if you want this really round, like harsh drop shadow effect, you can do that. I think this one's really fun. We have more flat options or this like glassy feel. I'm gonna go with this one. It's one of my favorites. And just like the other things, there is a lot of sort of customization you can do here. I think a really fun thing to do is to change the accent image shape. We also allow you to preview your theme on your current page. So let's go back to this deck that we just made. Now you can see the accent image shape. These are accent images, by the way, changing as I like move through these. So I really like this wiggle. I think it's really fun. So I'm gonna keep that. I want the cardboard to be thicker and let's make it like a little bit rounder. I can also control like the block colors. So you can see this changing these 1, 2, 3, 4, changing from this gray color to the green color. And you have some control over the outlines as well. And then of course, your buttons and CTAs, we let you customize that. We encourage you to upload your own logo. When you upload your logo, it'll show up in the bottom left corner as when you send the link out, but when you're presenting, it'll show up in the top right corner of your presentation. Really great feature. And then you just name it. Let's call this Summit Demo Theme, and I will save it. And so now this theme is available across my whole workspace, so everyone in this workspace can use it. So if I go back to this presentation I can actually go and search for Summit and then just change it. And it's all good, but I am going to go back to the theme before because it looked nice. So that is like a pretty like good overview, I think, of custom themes and branding. There's a lot that you can do with custom themes. Our designer Melissa is just like a total like magician with these things. She can make things look so incredible. And she is really the like driver of a lot of this power and functionality in our themes. There's one more cool thing about themes that I want to show you. That is accent images and AI images. So accent images are a library of images that you can add to your theme that will just show up in the theme as like options to use. So I don't have one in here right now, but let me just add this. So if I add this image, it will now be available to use in any of these image spots. So I can click on that, go to the source and click accent image. And this book image is available to use anywhere that this theme is being used. This is really nice if you just have reusable decorative or ornamental assets. And I lean on it a lot because it's a great just sort of default option. The other really cool thing is that you can add a AI image style prompt into your theme. So if you want to make sure that all of your AI images generate with hue palette, like soft lighting, like playful, then you can add that. And by default, all of your AI images will generate with these keywords. So it's a helpful way to just make everything a little bit more consistent visually in your gamma. We have a couple more examples of how these theme keywords affect image generation down here. And you can just play around in the image generator, which I'm about to show you, to refine your AI images and your keywords, and then just drop them into your theme. But yeah, that is my overview of custom themes. Are there any other questions on themes before I show you AI images?
But one question came, if you happen to know, Allison, I'm asking also the team,
Mhm.
but which LLM does Gamma use to generate the text and info? I don't know offhand,
Um,
like personally.
we have a couple that we use and fall back on. We use models from Anthropic and OpenAI, and I think there's something else, but I don't want to throw out names without knowing. But there's a couple different going into the background. But yeah, good question. But yeah, so the next thing I wanted to show you is AI images. So you've already seen them a little bit in the decks that I've been demoing, but I can give you a bit of a deeper dive into how these things work. And one of the reasons is because I was the designer behind a lot of AI image features. So there's a couple really cool things that happen with AI images. One of them is that if you insert an image, by default, we have a bunch of sources. Oh, also we have a bunch of image sources. So if you want to pull from royalty-free stock images, like Unsplash library, we have that. If you're a GIF person, we have Giphy integration. We have these beautiful pictographic illustrations. They're vector illustrations. They're really nice. And you can just search for whatever you want. So if I want a hamster or something. There's a bunch of hamsters. Um, and of course, we have AI images. One of the really cool things is that our AI images by default will try to write a prompt for you. So you can see that I didn't do anything there. It just wrote it when I opened this. I can show you again. So it's just writing a prompt. And that prompt is based on the text in the card. So our AI knew that this was a card about communicating between pets and humans, and it wrote an appropriate prompt for that. So that's, I think it's a real time saver. Another thing you can do is you can write like a, for lack of a better word, like very like bland prompt, like dog, like not a lot of information here. And you can hit this enhance prompt button and Gamma will rewrite the prompt for you to improve the detail and give the AI image generator a little bit more information to go off of. But like when in doubt, like just hit enhance prompt and Gamma will know what to do. So now you can see those theme keywords that I just showed you in action. They're right here, but we also offer a bunch of other styles for you to choose from. So if I really want like an anime style, or I want them to be line art, pixel art, or claymation, like I have all these options to choose from. And you will definitely want to play around with some of these styles and some of the models and figure out which ones like suit you and what you're making best. There's a lot of variance between the models on which styles they do better at, which they do worse at. And I recommend just playing around with it because it's fun and like you'll have pro, so you'll be able to just make as many of these things as you want. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and generate like a fantasy art, and you can change the aspect ratio. So let's say I want to put it in accent image space after this. And I think that we'll do ideogram. We'll just try something else out. So when I generate this, unlike with when you generate your whole deck, when you generate from the drawer here, we're going to make you three images. So you'll have three options to choose from. And here they are. It was two this time. Oh, there we go. There's the third one. So I have these really cute, like three fantasy images of a pet and an owner. From here, I have a couple of things I can do. So I can download the image. If I want to see it bigger, I can have it bigger. I can get rid of it and I can read it. And then they're all down here. So this tab is really cool. It shows all of the images in your current gamma. So every image that was generated in this presentation will show up in your this gamma page tab. But if I made another presentation where I was like, oh shoot, I really liked that image that I had there, I can just flip over to your AI images tab, and this will show me all of the images that I've made in this workspace. So these are the ones I made in this presentation. These are from the earlier presentation. And these are from presentations that I like made before. So this makes it really easy to just reuse your assets that you make in Gamma. So you're not having to like copy and paste between your work. And so from here, like I have this image, I can drag it into that accent image spot, super easy. And now that's my hero image. I can put it wherever I want. So if I want to put it back or even put it in a column, that's an option. And that is your like overview of AI images. One more thing to note is that these are on your dashboard as well. So if you go back to your dashboard and then you hit AI images, you have this bigger gallery of all the AI images that you've made in your workspace, sorted by date. So these are workspace specific. So if you have multiple workspaces in Gamma, you'll only see the ones from your current workspace. But if you want to generate more, you can do that here too. I'm going to pause really quickly. Deho, do I have any other questions or
Yeah,
requests?
George has a couple of questions. How do you
Yeah.
refine a specific image in Gamma? We'll start with that one. And if you have an image style that Gamma created, how do you get Gamma to generate images that are similar to that style?
Great question. If you have an image style that Gamma created, it's super easy to just keep creating them. So you can either, if you're relying on one of the pre-built styles, you can just click the style like over and over again, and Gamma will try to make something really similar. You can customize this as well. This is an input field. So if I'm like, oh, I like this, but there's like too much purple, like I actually want it to be more like orange. I can type in oranges, like reds, like warm tones. And now you can see this change to custom instead of fantasy art. So I can, whoops, generate it with this style. And let me just wait for that to finish going. But once I finish generating that, the next AI image that I make by default will also have that previous style. Okay, that's still pretty purple, but so you can see that I made a new AI image node and it has the same like keywords that I put in before. So that's one way you can do it. You can copy and paste. We don't offer ability to save these custom style prompts yet, but you can just copy and paste these into any image that you're making to refine like the style or reuse these styles. Or again, you can put it into the theme keywords and then just keep selecting theme and they'll always show up. So to refine an image, we don't have AI image editing yet. We are working on it. So keep your ears out. We would recommend just messing with the prompt. The nice thing is that when you have Pro or Plus, both come with unlimited credits, you can run these things as much as you want. So there's not really like a risk to generating a ton. So if I'm like, oh, I actually, this is like a little too playful, like maybe I'll just take out the word playful and then run it again. And this is how at least I would approach prompting in general, just tinkering with the wording, taking things out, seeing what happens. If that's not what I wanted, put that back in and do something else. It's like a scientific process. You're just controlling the variables. Oh, that's fun. And that is probably like the best way to keep refining your image right now. If you see an example of an image that you really like out in the world, there's a couple like cool things you can do. So I know that Midjourney offers a describe feature, and I think that probably Claude and ChatGPT can do this as well. But you could drop the image into one of those tools and say, hey, how would you like prompt an AI image generator to create an image like this? And base your prompt off of that. Those are a couple of the tips I can think of off the top of my head.
And then
Hopefully that
before you
helped.
move on, another follow-up question is, do you have a method or tips for favoriting and organizing your images, or is it all lumped together?
Or they're all lumped together. That functionality is designed. It's like just a prioritization, like engineering resources thing at this point. But we are aware that you can end up with a lot of these things. Um, I think if you have images that you don't like and you're getting a little cluttered, like I know this is not the best answer, but you can just delete them. Just what we can do for now. But
Yeah,
yeah, we do want to add the option to favorite things in the future.
yeah, I'm sure your load AI images goes on for quite a long time if you were to browse what you've made.
Yeah, you can just keep hitting load more. I don't actually don't think there's a bottom to my AI images library. There's so many of them. Okay. Any other thoughts? I'm gonna show you some editing tips and tricks that I use to make things. Okay, I'll dive into that now, and then we should have some more time to go through like more questions. Okay, so a couple features that I think would I really want to call out to you guys. One is combining gammas and pasting cards between them. So there's a couple ways you can do this. The easiest by far would just be to use the film strip, which is this bar right here that shows all your cards. So just click and then hold shift to select multiple. So again, I click one card and then I'm holding shift on my keyboard and then clicking the next card. Then you can either use Command C to copy, or I can right click. So I'm right clicking and then hitting copy. So now I'm going to go into a new gamma. By the way, you can type gamma.new in your URL bar and we'll just make something new. And now I can paste these in. There's a couple of things to know. If you have a card selected like this, then Paste will actually paste your cards in as nested cards, and then you have to unnest them. A nested card is this. I'm a nested card. It's like a card within a card. These are really great if you have a lot of content, if you have a lot of depth in what you're making. Really good for decks, really good for websites, stuff like that. But I just want to make sure that this card, there's no cards in the center of my screen that are blue. So there's no cards that are blue in the center. So now I'm just going to hit Command V and paste all those cards in. So you can see everything from that previous presentation came with it. Something also to know is that the theme did not come with it. The card that you paste in will adopt the new deck's theme. So you can see here that the theme I was using has these outlines, and this is just like a default. So the cards automatically adapted to the new theme. So for the person who was asking earlier about like a really long import, that is how you would do this. You would select all of the cards, copy them, and then copy them into the second thing. So again, I know it's not the best experience. We are trying to figure out how to make this like easier to do / like possible to import longer things. But right now, that's the best way to do for you. Sorry. So that's copying, pasting cards between decks. You can also copy the card by selecting these three dots in the corner and then hitting C. But honestly, I would just use the film strip because this is so much easier. Another cool thing about the film strip is that you can turn it into a list view. So if you just want to see the titles, you can do that. And this is a great place to manage the overall like flow of your presentation or your gamma. You can drag cards to rearrange them here, and it's super easy. You can drag multiple cards if you want. So I have 3 highlighted, and I'm going to move these up. And it's just like the simplest way to manage all the cards in your presentation. So it's time to show you a couple of my favorite features. One is the insert bar. So this is where you're going to find all of the blocks that Gamma has available. So there's some card templates here. So if you're not really sure kind of what you want to make, you can look in here. We have a bunch of smart layouts, which I'll get to in a second. We have a lot of basic sort of heading, list, call out, like code blocks. We have a math block that uses k-tex syntax. We have a bunch of image options. You saw this in the dropdown, a lot of media and like interactive, like embed options. We offer a bunch of chart and diagram options, and you can embed forms as well and add like a button. So you'll find all of these in the insert bar. If you know what you're looking for, you can just search for it. So say I want button, and here it is. And there's also like a card with a button. So cool stuff there. If you are really super duper fast and you don't want to look through this, then what you can do is you can use the slash menu. So if you are familiar with Notion, then you will have encountered the slash menu before. So you just hit slash, and then we start bringing up a menu of different blocks offered in Gamma. So basically all you have to do is treat this like a search bar. Hit slash and then search for button. And if I spell it, then button will show up. From here, I can modify my button, like add the link, do whatever. And this is just the easiest way to create stuff in Gamma quickly and edit your card quickly. We offer markdown formatting for our text. So this is a heading 1, but if I wanted to change it to be a heading 2, 3, 4, or even just body text, I can do that by putting the half or the slash MD in front of it. And we offer some bigger sizes as well. These are specifically for web use cases, but like I've used them in presentations too for shorter chunks of text. So if I want to make this like really big, I can do exclamation point. If I want to take it back to H1, I'll just type 1#. So really quick ways to format your text. We have some other text formatting options that are really powerful as well. The option to recolor your text based on your theme. So again, like everything's just staying on brand, super easy to do. We load your theme colors into this color picker. And then we also have classic text formatting options as well. And there are some other cool things in this menu to call out. One of them is these sort of like nested disclosure capabilities that Gamma has. This is something that makes a tool like Gamma really unique compared to a traditional like slide format where you can't have a thing like a toggle inside of a presentation, right? So here, another cool feature is if you just want to like AI generate some text on the fly, you can hit plus and Gamma will write something for you. But in a classic presentation, right, like you can't have a toggle to expand on a slide. But in Gamma, that's totally possible because it's a web medium and it's a much more interactive and engaging format. So if I have time and I want to drill into this, like I can open this and go through this content with my audience. But if I just want to like have them be able to read it later and not have all of this clutter up my slide when I'm presenting, just throw it in a toggle, throw it in a nested card, and like it's out of the way. So you can do that by either creating toggle, you can hit plus to make a toggle. So that's plus toggle. You can type /toggle. Or you can highlight the text and then wrap it inside. So we also have block quotes, these info boxes, really useful for calling specific things out, and nested cards, of course. The last thing in here is we have some text-specific AI image, AI editing options here. So these are similar to the ones up here, but they just address this specific block. So that's the inserting and like editing text basics. Another couple things that I know we're like getting close to time, but another things that I think are great for when you're making presentations are we offer card notes, which is our version of speaker notes and a presenter view. So if I want to add some notes here, I can have Gamma generate a draft of what these could be for me. Just keep, stepping through these as I like refine my presentation. When I'm ready to present, I can go into presenter view and, oh wait, I actually don't think that's showing up. I don't know if I showed my whole screen, but I can go into presenter view and then my notes will show up as well. Sorry, that might be underwhelming because I don't think I shared my whole screen, but that is an option. You're just going to hit presenter view and then a separate window with your notes will show up. When you're presenting specifically, I'll show you the keyboard shortcuts for how to navigate in present mode. So you're going to use your arrow keys. They're going to be your best friends to navigate through your presentation. If you want to, you can use your mouse as well. So we have arrows that show up that confirm that you're like clicking in the right place. And a really cool presentation feature, again, really specific to this web medium, is spotlight mode. So you can turn that on by either clicking up here for spotlight, or I can click S on my keyboard to spotlight things. And what spotlight is really great for is really focusing your audience on what you're talking about now. So I can make this heading stand out a lot and then start walking through my content and not have my audience focusing on what's coming next. I want them to really look at what I'm saying now. So we're going to focus on this top part of the pyramid, then the second one, and keep going through. And as you go through, the stuff that you've already revealed will show, but anything that you haven't shown yet is blurred out. So Spotlight's really powerful if you are doing some sort of presentation or showing something to your audience where you really want them to focus on what you're saying now and not think about what's coming. The very last editing thing that I want to show you today, I have more stuff, cool stuff to show you tomorrow. So come back, is smart layouts. This is Gamma's response to the pain and agony of trying to lay out nice content and then relay it out in traditional design tools. It is very easy to change your layouts in Gamma. The way that you would create a smart layout is you can go to this menu here and you can choose a blank layout from any of these over here. The thing that makes Gamma different is that these are linked. So I have right now an icon of text layout. I know that because it says it right here, but I can go in here and in this menu and change how this information is displayed depending on what I think is best for my content. So maybe I don't like this icons situation and I want it to be like steps, right? I can do that. And Gamma just did that change for me. It knew what was best. I have a couple of additional options for how to display this, but there are a ton of different layouts here. And this makes it so that you can just easily swap through them, cycle through, change it up without having to drag everything, resize boxes, whatever. The changes are just made for you. So I would really recommend using smart layouts, checking them out, like seeing what's available and really playing with them for yourself, because the more comfortable you are with them, the more powerful and like beautiful your canvas are going to be. And so I think that's all of the features that I wanted to make sure I got to today. Or are there any other questions that I can answer for the people?
Nothing specific for you. I was just dealing with some pricing ambiguity in terms of the
Oh
limits.
yeah.
Yeah, if folks have any questions, Allison is one of our experts, probably one of the best people at using Gamma. If you have any questions about how do I do something within Gamma, she's really amazing at that. And we do have a question. Once
Girl.
I have a presentation, how best to embed in a blog article?
Ooh, okay. That's a fun one. Wait, actually, thank you for reminding me because I don't think I went through sharing. Um, so to share your gamma, very important, you're gonna click share in the top bar. You have the option to add people as collaborators. So if someone has a Gamma account or you want them to have a Gamma account, you can just add their email here. You can set the permissions for your workspace. If you have other people you're working with, make sure that you change this so they can see it. This is where you'll get the link to your Gamma. So again, you can change the permissions. So if you change it to edit, then anyone with a Gamma account will be able to edit this if they have the link. So be careful with that. Also set a password, which is I think a like really fun, not fun, but I think it's really useful. So I can set the password to be like AI Summit for this, save it. And now if anyone was to go here, they would have to enter the AI Summit password to get in. For export, we offer like a bunch of different options. You can do PDF, PPT, Google Slides, PNGs. They're really useful for our social carousel feature, which we'll be showing you tomorrow. And we recently just launched posting directly to LinkedIn. So if you want to be a thought leader, we have that as well. We let you export any range of cards. So if you just want to do 1 through 6, you can do that. I use this all the time if I'm tweaking content. Like I'll export everything, realize there's 1 card or 2 cards that I want to tweak a little bit, tweak them, export just those, super useful. And then if you export things to PowerPoint and Google Slides, then you will be able to edit it there as well. So if you just need to make tweaks on the output, then recommend using those. If you want to embed it into a blog post, we have this embed tab. This will have your embed data code. So when you copy this and paste it, it will show this gamma in an iframe. So I don't have a blog editor open, but this will be a little trippy, like a infinite mirror situation. So I'm gonna type in like embed and then paste this code. And you can see that when I change this to inline, this gamma is embedded in here. So this should work for any like platform that supports like an iframe embed. What you're really looking for is like a place to put the snippet. So that would be the best way to embed it into a blog, I believe. Also, we have analytics. I think this is really cool. So if you want to see who's looking, you can do that here. It shows the number of unique viewers. If there were more viewers, they would show up down here. If they have Gamma accounts, their Gamma account will show up. If they don't, we'll show them as anonymous individually. And you can see card by card where people are looking at. So if you have a pitch deck or like a takeaway thing that you've shared out, then the analytics are really useful.
Darby has a suggestion. Can you quickly share the Jotform Typeform embeds? If you
Yeah,
did a
totally.
cut, it's being able to take surveys within a presentation.
Yeah, totally. If you have a type form, a jot form, any of these things, Calendly, you can add them into your Gamma as an embed. So I don't have a type form link live right now, but if I were to do that, let's see if I can just find one live demoing. Okay, I don't see like just a type form link on the web. So if I had a type form link, I can the actual form link tomorrow to show you guys. I would paste that in here and the form will show up in the card. So your audience will have to click on it to interact with it. So let me just grab this link real quick. I can show you how these embeds work. Um, So I'm just going to embed the Scale with AI Summit. What you're going to want to make sure to do when you embed an iframe, so any sort of link, website, form builder, interactive thing, you're going to want to change the link display to embed. For forms, it should automatically be this, but just in case it isn't, this is how you get it to display like that. If you do want your audience to click a button and go out, so if this is a website or something, you can change it to a button or like a text link. But I would recommend if you want them to interact in line to do it as a like embed display. Um, they're gonna have to like click into it to expand it. And then from here, they'll be able to fill out this form in your Gamma. This is the best way right now to collect form data. We don't have native forms at the moment, but it's something that we really want to introduce in the future. And another note is if the expand functionality maybe isn't right for you, then you can also just have it open a new tab. And this goes for all links, not just embeds. So if you want like to put like a different sort of link in, then you can change how it works for the preview and for the embed displays. So yeah, we're like just at time. I had a lot of fun demoing to you guys today. Hopefully, I taught you some cool stuff. I'm really excited to show you websites and social carousels tomorrow, and I feel like we just scratched the surface. So yeah, thank you for coming, and I hope you have a great rest of the summit.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And all the questions, guys, if we didn't get to all of them today, we'll have more time, like you said, tomorrow. So
Yes.
super looking forward to that as well. Thank you so much, Allison and Deho. See you guys tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. That was Gamma. Make sure that you are subscribed to Gamma for a full month of their pro account using the code AI Summit at gamma.app.